Good morning, man. This is Boxing Combo giving you an early boxing show with some info on what happened last night. We all saw the title. Prescott lost last night. We all know Prescott, the one who knocked Amir Khan in 60 seconds a couple of months ago. And amazing fight because Amir Khan was like a big star and still is. You know, his last fight I think was Breidis. I haven't seen him since. I don't know if he did a fight after that or not. But for now, Prescott was the one who knocked Amir Khan out. And so far, he was undefeated. I'll give you the record right quick. 21-0 and 18 KOs. Before we get to the Prescott, let's get to some other fights I wanted on that card last night. Guillermo Riagondiaz. Let me just give you the last name. I just can't pronounce it. Guillermo. Guillermo, he's a Cuban fighter who fought a couple weeks back on ESPN. His debut fight on ESPN. The guy has 400 amateur fights, has a gold medal. He must be like 29 or 28 or something, I guess. Has one fight, one KO. Last night he won in the second round KO for fighting real low competition. If you have 400 amateur fights, you have Olympic experience, you won a gold medal, start fighting with good fighters. I mean, just start fighting with good fighters so we can see what it's all about. You know, especially if you're like 28 years old, you better start moving quick, man. And then you had Irlanda Lara. Irlanda Lara. Now this kid, man, this kid is young. This kid is young, and he has a future. And all these guys are from Cuba. Now this kid also fought last time Guillermo fought on ESPN, but that time Lara was fighting Vazquez from Puerto Rico. So I've seen the fighter fight. Susulo is a Class C fighter, has a real, he has good boxing skills, and for a debut, not a debut fight, but for a rookie fight, it was a good fight. And Lara knocked Susulo Vazquez out. And last night he was fighting a guy called Darnell Bone. Darnell Bone, 16-11, 2-6 KOs. And Darnell Bone was a real crafty fighter with great defense. To hit the guy was so difficult. The guy just his movement, he'll grab you, he'll step back, he'll tuck his chin in. It was real hard to fight this guy. They call him a journeyman because we'll fight tomorrow at 154. The next day we'll fight at 147. But the guy has real good skills. And Lara was getting kind of frustrated at one point because he couldn't really hit him. It's hard to fight a guy that you're trying to hit him and you can't. But Lara was not really ever intimidated by Darnell Bond because he doesn't really hit hard. He's not a hard hitter. He's pretty much shot to fight to survive, I guess. And anyway, Lara won a 6th round unanimous decision, even though like in the 6th round he did hurt him. But again, you hurt the guy, but the guy always looked for a way to try to get out of trouble, and he did. And so it is Landy Lara, another one for him too. And they had another fight between, I think this was the one of the fights between that. It was also a Cuban fighter, not really much, not really praised or anything, but did win a gold, silver medal, 2004. Also has like 300 amateur fights. He's 28 years old, and he was fighting a kid that had like, I don't know, 9 or 8, 10 amateur fights. Was just a young dude, Justin Paulo, with one fight. So this was probably going to be his second fight. Anyway, obviously the silver medalist won. For a 4-round unanimous decision. He really put a beating on that Justin kid, but Justin took it very good. Anyway, I'm just saying, if you have a kid, this kid Justin Paolo, he looked. I mean, he stood his ground versus 28 years old. He stood his ground versus a guy who has 400 amateur fights, who won a silver medal. So that shows you that Justin Paolo kid, he's a good future fighter. He does has he is a prospect. So why would you throw him in there with a Yadel Johnson, a Cuban fighter who has so much experience for like your second professional fight? I mean, I don't get that. Anyway, back to Prescott. Prescott was going into the ring fighting this guy called Miguel Vazquez, Mexican, 24-3 losses, 12 KOs. His 3 losses were in a higher weight class. He wasn't really doing that good in that higher weight class, which was, I believe, welterweight, 147. So, I don't know how. Tony Margarito, the boxer, got a hold of this kid, Miguel Vazquez, and now Antonio Margarito is his manager. So when, I didn't know nothing about the kid, but when I heard Antonio Margarito was his manager, it gets you thinking. Now, you know, if he's going to manage this kid got to have something. He doesn't really intimidate much. He has kind of a bad haircut. So I'm just looking at this kid like, what is he really going to do? When he steps in the ring, this is what he does the whole fight. He'll be like just waiting on you. He'll be waiting on Prescott. Waiting on Prescott. Every time Prescott made a mistake, bam, here comes Vazquez, and he will capitalize on the mistake. And that's how he did the whole fight. And he won a 12-round decision, even though Prescott did put him down in the second or third round with a quick, fast jab. During the fight, Sergio Mora sat next to Teddy Atlas, you know, during commentary, and Sergio Mora said, you know what, I predict a 12-round upset. Why? Because he's sparred with Miguel Vazquez, and he said it himself. He hates sparring with Miguel Vazquez because Miguel Vazquez is such a difficult fighter to fight. He's so difficult the way he ties up, he moves, he has a quick jab, he's always waiting for you to slip up, and he jumps on you. He's a real difficult fighter to fight. So Sergio Mora is an experienced fighter, and he said that himself about Miguel Vazquez. So then I'm wondering, well, wow, that's why Margarito is managing this kid. And Miguel Vazquez came out with a real big win. And on top of that, Miguel Vazquez is only 22 years old. 22 years old, so he has a real big, bright future. Doesn't have much punching power, you know, so he's not going to be an entertaining fighter. But it is kind of fun to see all the little tactics and smart things that he does in the ring, because he is a real smart fighter. Now, I'm thinking, Prescott, you knocked out Amir Khan a couple months ago. You should be looking for big name fights. Now, who is your matchmaker so we can fire him right now on the spot? I mean, I'm not saying don't take the tough fights, but if you're going to take a tough fight, take a tough fight that has a big name. You know what I'm saying? Because if you would have beat this kid that nobody knows nothing about, we would have thought you beat a Class C fighter. But no, now this kid beat you, and now this kid is jumping on your fame. Now this kid just beat the guy who knocked out Amir Khan. So you let this kid rob that fame that you had. You know, you being undefeated in the whole thing. I mean, like I said, it's not your fault. It's the matchmaker's fault. Whoever made this match with Prescott must be real pissed off. But you know, that's life. Life is crazy. So for Miguel Vazquez, this was a big opportunity, and I hope he takes advantage of that. Miguel Vazquez, I just hope to see more of you now. And real good win. And they almost tried to rob Miguel Vazquez. Why? Because the two judges had 94, 95, 96, 93 for Miguel Vazquez, but this one judge, the one pig judge, had it 97, 92. And this is some words Teddy Atlas had to say himself. Let me think. But before I put that on real quick, if I have time, Cotto's uncle is suing Cotto for $7 million. I just read that in the newspaper, wanted to say that, don't know why, it just sounded crazy. Whatever details, I don't know. Macho Camacho Jr. will be fighting some guy I don't know, but Macho Camacho Jr. will be fighting on pay-per-view. Why? I don't know why. These guys, Chavez Jr., Macho Camacho Jr., pay-per-view, don't get it. Anyway, let me give you what Teddy Atlas had to say.
These guys are fights when they're supposed to. That judge that gave that fight to Prescott, if I'm the commissioner here, I want to bring him in the office and watch the fight with him and ask him to explain his score to me. Miguel Vazquez, best win.
You heard that. You know, take the judge, take him to the commissioner, and have him explain the score to the commissioner and to Teddy Atlas while they're watching the fight. Because there's no way you could have that fight 97-92 Prescott. Wow, just amazing. Like I said, y'all remember Chavez versus Jody Boy Kappa a couple months ago. I did a video on that, which it was on pay-per-view, right? Y'all know Chavez Jr. always doing these fights with people you don't know on pay-per-view. So like I said, now it's Hector Macho Camacho Jr. fighting a guy at Cardona. I think he's Cardona is also trying to revive his career. Pito Cardona. For a belt, CABOFE, final of the CMB, Federation, Caribbean, whatever, pay-per-view. Who's going to buy that? I mean, who buys these pay-per-views? I don't get it. Why are they even pay-per-views? I'm going to try to do another vid, probably giving you some, I'm probably going to talk about the Roy Jones Jr. versus Jeff Lacey. some Paul Magellani and Yano. Peace.